What's up, world? This is André Wright from Color of Life Branding here at Delaware Arts Museum in front of Indigenous Faces. I just got done doing a dope behind interview with NadjNJea. You know what I mean? My good peeps. What's up? What's up?
Hey everybody!
Hey everybody!
NadjNJea here with...
We are with the illustrious, the talented, the wonderful, the photographer, but also the visionary, André Wright Jr. In front of, this is the Indigenous Faces of Wilmington, but specifically, we are in front of his father.
I mean, I'm gonna give, like, I know he can't say favorites and that kind of thing, but I can at least give his dad the award for smoothest brother in the whole collection. You know what I'm saying? That man is smooth, you know what I'm saying?
You can look through this whole series, and they all got this strong look, but there is something about
butter.
Listen, and the way, you know he a man, like he got that
just
look.
enough swag, you know what I'm saying, but not too much. So, and I found that, you know, we'll go into it, but like I found that kind of consistently, like, you know, with Rex's dad and all those things. So,
So,
go ahead.
To get started, tell us where you're from.
Well, I'm originally from South Carolina, born in South Carolina. I'm a military kid.
Okay.
And,
what branch?
Dad was in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically got to travel around the world, lived in Berlin, lived in Kaiserslautern, Germany.
Oh, wow.
Lived in Germany for over 8 years before I came.
Oh, wow. What part of Germany?
Kaiserslautern in Berlin.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So at a young age, I got to explore and get a lot of dope culture in me.
Yeah. Do you speak any German?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, of course.
Danke, yeah.
Yeah, bitte sehr. Cool. That's hysterical.
So when did you land in Wilmington?
In 1994.
Okay, what part?
Oh, in Wilmington. Wilmington, Delaware, 1994. And been here.
What part of Wilmington?
Oh, East Side.
Okay.
East Side.
So if you watch our show, you know by now that anytime we talk about Wilmington, we tell people what part are you from?
And in as much as I'm a West Side kid, I think it's wildly appropriate that you're from East Side because of the history of artists that come from that part of town.
Yes.
You already know.
Yes,
but that's dope. I love to see that lineage continue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Taylor Street. 512.
Shout out to East Side.
Yes.
So I want to jump into the collection first before we do anything else.
Yeah.
So what was the start of this? What was the conversation, the inspiration?
Shout out to Is the Truth, my big bro.
Every single episode.
I am tired. He need to be here from now on. Like at this point, you just need to be here.
You just hang from the ceiling or something.
Yeah, but definitely shout out to Iz, big brother. We've been talking about this for the last 4 to 5 years.
Oh wow!
And just been trying to come up with a dope project to team up on, and this was perfect timing.
Yeah.
It resonated with Nanaco, a lot of other tribes, and just being that I'm part of Nanaco as well, it was just the right timing, the right story, underneath the right institution.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful timing.
How did you all finally kind of zero in on this specific,
It was definitely a story that needs to be told,
right?
For our people, just for Delawareans, and just over globally.
Yeah.
Just people needed just to hear, the story, and just be able to, find out what you are. You know what I mean? It's a lot of one of the things that definitely sparked was having a conversation just about. Knowing who you are, knowing a lot of people text me, would call me, hey, I went on Ancestry.com and just wanted, I found out I was Native or I was such and such, and that right there was just one of the, meaningful facts about this whole project, was just to get people to find out, who you are as an individual. And also just to tell the stories about indigenous folks and just get people knowing about the native land and just culture period. And just let people know.
Yep.
People know that we're here.
Absolutely.
That we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we've been here, and this was just perfect timing.
What? No. Go ahead, because you know I got a whole backlog of questions and I'm waiting to just be like, pew, pew, pew. So.
Your lip quivering now.
No. Do it.
Y'all know each other well.
Yes. So, how did you, what was your thought process going into this? Like, you guys had the plan, okay, we know we're going to shoot members of the different tribes in the area, and you had specific people. So what was your thought process on how to portray them?
Well, definitely, always think about the story first.
Okay.
Whenever I do go into any shoot, I'm always thinking about the story, how to portray this person in a meaningful way. And then after that, the technical side things
Okay.
come in. How to shoot it, composition, the lighting, the color, the poses, what they're going to be wearing, all those elements apply into the physical project. A lot of people don't think about that, but being a creative, you have to think about those elements because that's all about telling the story. So they basically once it went into that whole attribute of things, and then figuring out what subjects we was going to choose, and it was just like simple from there.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for so many years. It's like I constantly all I think about in my brain.
Yeah.
It's like how to execute this mission, how to execute this photo shoot, and it worked out well from the colors, the color palette it chose to the lighting, 3-point lighting system, adding a couple gels in there, a couple little props just to tell the story a lot better.
Yeah.
And then just that's what made it really.
So, I'm sorry.
Why did you choose that color, like the background that you see kind of consistently through? Like, where did that process come from?
So you see, with being a native, you see that color palette all the time. Browns,
There we go.
redwoods, definitely the feathers. Like I was just thinking about choosing the right type of tone, and that was perfect.
I mean, so this is a funny thought that I had, right? Because, I'm basically, especially once it gets to fall, I'm basically khaki colored, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
Khaki.
when you pulled out the khaki background, I'm like, yo, all I'm gonna do is blend into this whole thing. It's gonna be nothing but a khaki, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, and then I saw it and I was like, I would have never put that together because, I'm obviously an amateur, but how did you know that would work? And it clearly did.
Hey, it was just divine intervention, man, bro. You came through with your motorcycle on, the gear, the black tones, the leather, so that already just gave you that distinct look.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And then all the color tones just blended well. It was just a good earth tone color for you.
Yeah, earth tone.
Yeah, earth tone color.
Cool.
Just, again, telling the story. You being on your Harley Davidson bike, like with your gear on, that was super dope. Your hair out, it just gave native dope vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
And that's the look we was going for.
No, gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it was just perfect. You know what I mean? And that was just, I couldn't ask for a better shoot.
He was all right. No, but actually, Jay's picture is one of my favorites.
Strong.
It was, and I told you this when it first came out. I was like, Jay is art.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, and I said it off camera. The funniest thing about the picture from my end is you see me looking serious and strong. And I'm not saying that I can't be serious and strong, but that is not I'm a goofball. Look at me right now. This is me.
He's about as goofy as the shirt.
I'm basically a Muppet, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So I'm trying to I'm geeking because I'm involved. And I'm just being my natural goofy self, and you were in the background no, tighten up, be strong, do this. And I'm like, I can be strong, I'm like, and it was hysterical. So.
Right. Being a photographer, you have, part of our job as well is to bring out that energy that we need in the shoot. It's not about just me, it's not about just you, it's about our audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we want to make sure that we give the right impact. Have the right impact on our audience, and that's why sometimes we gotta be a little rough.
No, 100%.
I get that image.
I get it. After I saw it, and that's the beauty of real artistic eye that you have. Because I've been like, what?
But it turned out well. You know what I mean? You did your thing, and it was. You can see the work is beautiful. Yes.
So we learned about in our interviews with two members of the NadjNJea tribe, we learned about the regalia. And something that I realized after learning about it, they're big on the correct name of it. Like, it's not a costume, it's not an outfit, it's regalia. And after learning the importance of saying that, I would look at different indigenous folks' photos in movies or TV or books or whatever, and I noticed that the difference between your work and that work is it almost blended into the person as if it was a part of them, instead of looking like an outfit or a costume. So I'm curious to know if you knew that's what you were doing when you were taking those pictures, or I mean, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, like for that one, for this one right here, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
like, I feel
that was meaningful because they was, husband and wife. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the energy that they brought on set was just, I felt love. I felt like it was love. They're very into each other. They're into the craft. Just, I mean, you could just feel it just by looking at the end, the image alone. Like,
you captured that.
I mean, it was just impactful. Like, what they brought on set, it was just super dope.
Right.
The energy was super real, and it just, again, it felt loved.
Yeah.
And like, both of them was just super dope.
And did you know everyone before?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're like your first meeting.
Yeah, first meeting. Right. Again, taking like 5 to 10 minutes to interact, talk with them, let them know what the shoot, what we're going for, and they just took control. And I let them like when it came to this set, I more so like gave the subjects like, okay, this is what we're going for, but you put your 2 cents on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because this is a collaborative effort. It's not just all the soul on me. I want you to put your little stink on it, and then we're gonna make this work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they did it, and they worked. Like, they had the drums, they had all the little props, and they made it work.
But so to your point, like, you did a masterful job of catching everyone in their authentic selves.
Yes.
And
I think that's what I was trying to say.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah.
And more to what we're trying to dig at is like, how did you really, in the moment, especially for someone you never met before, sort of assess that and kind of bend and flow? Like, I don't know, with them again, like because they look totally authentic. Like, what are you sort of thinking about? Like, maybe just specifically with this one, like, what are you trying to, like, like, what's going on in your brain there?
I guess the elders came over to me, bro. Like, because we was at the labyrinth. You know what I mean? And just that alone, that energy just came. Like, I don't know, our ancestors just came and just gave me the blessings and like, hey, this is how we want you to do your thing, but this is how you're gonna do it. Right. Like, so I mean, that's real talk. That's really what I felt on set.
And it's funny you say that, because notice in all of the work that you've done that I've seen personally, I don't see ego in your work, if that makes sense. Yes, and I think that's literally what this was an example of. Like, you allowed the spirit, you allowed ancestors, and I think that's what you do in all your work. Because you have that same, like, you just have this great eye that focuses on the piece, the person, the location, the colors. Like, you don't see that a lot.
Again, it's all about telling the story, and like, if anything, before I go into any project, always do your research. Research on your subject, what the story is about. Again, location, the camera, all that stuff, all those elements apply. You know what I mean? Most folks probably don't think about it like that, but I don't know, that's just how I dissect things. Because this is my passion, so I'm like making love to this project. Any project that I tap into. And, that's just my thought process in anything that I do, and apply that to life.
So give us the story of your dad.
Oh, man.
Like, was it easy? Was it hard? How did you,
So
I'd love to go through all 11, but like, walk us through that one. The man's looking at us all right now. And look at it right here. You better not mess it up. Like, he's not playing around.
Shout out to Pops. That's where I get my dope energy. Respect. That's my guy. But just going into the process of shooting Pops. All I can say is, I had to come correct. As Dad would say, stay ready. You ain't got to be.
He know my dad.
Military man, you know what I mean?
That's my dad.
You better come correct. And you know, with him, we talked about. Trust me, we had like 5 different suits he wanted to wear.
Wow.
The feathers, like he went in with details, and I had to come, you know, it had to be, you know, had to come correct, had to be serious. But it was just like meaningful for me because anytime I do get to capture family or just my pops in general, it's just, I don't know. Again, this aura just comes over me, and I'm like, yo, this is my dad. Like this is me. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at my mirror image of myself. You know what I mean? We're just alike.
Yeah.
And so I had to represent and just, you know, I take my time. I mean, I took my time with everybody, but I took my time with Pops.
Of course.
Yeah.
And just really just wanted to make sure that he has that distinct look. You know, just different variations of shots, from close-ups to wide angle, to how I was lighting him. Like, we had to make sure it was correct.
And how did you end up with this image?
Again, Iz and I was like, this is strong. He looks strong. Looks strong. Definitely the feathers, you know, representing the whole project as well with the turquoise ring.
Like respectfully, it looks like this hand could easily go pow.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
Like it's just ready.
I got a lot.
Like
of
I'm
those,
cool, I'm chilling, but
yeah, a lot of those.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Like,
Say one more thing.
Right. Like I can hear him right now, son. You make sure you put Junior on the mound in your name now. I'm coming after you. Like I can hear him in the back saying that. Like,
I love it.
How old is your dad?
He is 64.
That's great.
64, and he still gets, you know, questions all the time like, "Hey, how old are you, sir?" Like, and then when he says his age, they can't believe him because of how he carried himself, how his mannerism, you know, just I respect that man a lot. You know what I mean? He's a real OG. And even if he wasn't my father, I would just know straight up like.
No, he's one of those dudes where you just know within literally 15 seconds of the conversation that he's not the
You know from his photo. I don't know this man from Adam, but
them
by
eyes
the way,
said all.
And that's another thing about almost all of these photos is there's like Rex's dad. I'm not messing with that dude. It was a certain strength. And I told Rex a funny story when I saw him. I'm not gonna tell it now,
but
but like
it's not as scary. That's a lot of people think you have to be scary to be like, don't mess with me. No, this is like respect me.
Right.
Yes.
And you'll be respected.
Yes.
You know, that's what I love about all of them.
Just all the images. Also, if you look into their eyes, it just has you looking into their windows of the soul.
But I wonder how you really. Like with Jonathan too, I'm thinking about all the different images too. Because you were able to capture something that is authentic about them, but that isn't always present. And I really wonder how you did that.
That Jonathan?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that
Right.
I was funny because he had his feet out, but
that was part of the story. That was all part of the story. He said, "Yo, take your shoes off, bro. I want to see."
Oh, you told him to take them off?
Yes.
Okay, keep going. So why?
I mean, just I wanted to be real, authentic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then having.
And you know that man at home without shoes on.
Right.
You know.
Right. And
that man
just
ain't
even
got shoes on.
going into the technical side, like we had him sitting in a chair, but the chair was just too basic. So I had the blanket that he was sitting on. That was a blanket that was quilted by grandma. And so I had that. That was something that didn't get caught in the fire. So I had that in the trunk, and I was like, let me go get that. And that made. I think that made the shoot. You know what I mean? Having that blanket. If I didn't, it just would have been Jonathan. You know what I mean? Jonathan with his drum. You know what I mean? But just having that furry blanket.
Right.
And it was just that it kind of matched the tone of it matched the background.
Yes.
And it just blended well together.
So you're done the photo shoot. Everything's printed. Time to drop it off, and you come back here, and it's all hung up and lit. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I'm just ecstatic. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
You know, this. Like I was telling one of my good friends the other day, like working on this project, I haven't like felt like last time I was feeling like this was when I was working at Vibe. When I used to work at Vibe in New York and working on a physical, you know, team, you know, having a creative director, art department, stylists, all these people, all these other entities coming together, and then I'm, you know, showing up on set and conducting the shoot like. that's what this whole project felt like, and I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good,
Yeah.
it felt really good just to have all the different departments come together, because it's no INT, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It took a whole lot of folks to put this together, you know what I mean? And just even having my intern, just being able to be there, it was just a beautiful process as well. I mean, I'm super thrilled.
And the Delaware Art Museum commissioned this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So what does that mean for people who don't understand?
Well, we're gonna keep it real. As a black man, being in an institution like this is mind-boggling. I never would imagine or thought that I would be in a museum.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then also being, taking my creative process and honoring my family, my tribe. That's, again, like I had many sessions, just many talk sessions with a lot of my peers and pops, moms, and just was like, I gotta go hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta go hard. This is more than just me.
Yep.
This is about representation of my family, culture, just everybody in particular, and I had to come correct.
Right.
So that in itself, in a nutshell, was just like, wow, like we in the museum now.
Right.
Like sometimes we in there. Sometimes I still, can't believe it, and then I'm like, all right, it is what it is. But then when I wake up some days, like, yo, we in the museum.
So this is exactly where I wanted to have a chance to jump into. So when did you get into photography? Like when did you first be like, I want to do this, get a camera, start the process of learning how to use it?
Traveling with my parents, seeing the world.
Okay.
I mean, I used to have like a little disposable camera at a young age, and being in Germany, just going to, my dad was off in war.
Schnitzel and a snapshot.
Schnitzel and conference, bratwurst, yeah, eating good. But yeah, that was the start, and then once I, shout out to Del Castle Technical High School, that's where I got my start at. And,
what did they give you? What kind of camera? Like, do you remember? I mean, not like brand, but like, was it,
cameras?
like, what were you, but like, what were you?
Well, before then, I was just basically,
Film, right?
I was just filming. So we was on a Canon XR1.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Classic. Y'all know what that is? That's a classic camera.
Okay.
24, I think it was 24 frames per second. That was the first camera that came out with 24 frames.
Okay.
Digital. We was using those, and that was like the first start of just really tiptoeing into the video world of, it's basically like news sets, how it's ran on production.
Okay.
And then from there, shout out to Hype Williams. He was a big inspiration in the 90s, shooting all the hip hop videos, and he would use a particular lens, a fisheye lens.
Yes.
So when the subject was up close, it just gave you this beautiful dynamic.
I love that.
And that's what basically inspired me to really want to learn more about the craft alone. And then, after graduating from Votech, I did 1 year at Delaware State. Shout out Delaware State. But it wasn't for me though. It was more book theory there, and I was already hands-on. So I asked mom and dad, hey, can I go to the motherland? And I found a nice film school, Brooks Institute of Photography in California.
So why did you go from, after seeing Hype Williams, with the video, why did you go to photography?
Well, I mean, to keep everything, keep it real, money. Money. I mean,
because photography's cheaper to get into?
Yeah.
Okay.
Video cameras at that time, the XR1 was a little bit out of my price range.
Wow.
So I basically started off with the film camera, a Nikon N90 film, and then eventually transferred over to the Canon 20D.
Okay.
And that was like the prime time camera at the moment. It was the 8 megapixels, I believe.
Ooh.
Very. But it was the camera. That was the one. And then going on to using that camera, meeting my mentor Johnny Nunez at my first Vibe celebrity party, and he was shooting with the same camera. And then from there, I was like, hey, I got to meet this man, and I got to get back with him when I get to the East Coast. And and that was just the start.
Okay.
That was the beautiful start.
Were you scared?
Of what? Sorry.
At any point, were you like afraid to talk to people? Were you afraid to travel? Like, was there any apprehension at all, or were you just like, nah, go?
I mean, as a creator, we always have them giggle buffs.
Giggle buffs?
I've never heard that in my life.
Giggle buffs.
This man just said
I don't know what the hell that is, but I get it.
We gonna put, you know what? I am making a definition, and we're gonna put it on this.
Oh, I got the giggle buffs.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Only you would say that.
Right. I mean,
This man just saying something.
I'm like a Nickelodeon cartoon creature.
Oh yeah. You know?
Never mind. I'm gonna run with it. Go ahead.
But you know, as a creator, as any creative person, you just get those little jitters. And I mean, so I was always scared because I didn't know, this was a new space for me.
Yeah.
But just being cultured, my parents taking me around the world, that really helped me out a lot. And being able just to talk to different folks and just, like Jay-Z said, put me on anywhere on his worth, I triple my worth.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt. You know what I mean? But yeah, after 30 seconds in the conversation, I'll open up.
Okay.
And I'm good to go.
So, I want to go specifically to here. That's the camera you shot everything on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is
Can I hold
that?
that?
Yes, you may. Yes, ma'am.
What is that camera specifically? And did you use that lens the whole time for everyone?
No, sir.
You switch it up a lot.
Yeah, I switched it up. So this is a Canon 5D Mark II.
Is that a DSLR or a mirrorless?
DSLR.
Right. So.
Because I've been working out lately.
Oh yeah.
I'm at 3 now.
So why that camera?
Just to give you a little backstory, last year a lot of my stuff got caught in a fire, and basically, to give you a little backstory on the camera, this is a loaner camera from my good brother, Mr. Ivan from DETV.
Okay.
So my good brother let me borrow this camera, and I've been rocking with this, ever since.
Wow.
The fire. And,
wow.
Yeah, but it's not really about what camera.
That's why I'm asking.
You can have an iPhone and take amazing photos.
So, the next question I had, exactly. So I wanted to know what you used, for this, which was part of my point. And then my second question following up is, what do you think your sort of unique gift is as a photographer? One thing I heard Joe Del Tufo say is like that you have this ability to make these photos look like paintings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can describe it, but like from your end, what do you think is unique about your approach to it? Why can you take, my iPhone and probably do something equally magical?
I mean, it's all in the eye. I mean, again, I apply all the elements that was taught to me in school, and then I just put my own stank on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just, again, apply the technical side of things, and then apply your own little method. But again, just composition, the lighting, again, talking to your subject before you physically shoot so they can give you the proper energy that you need. All those elements apply. So I mean, I'm just giving you just what I think about, what I apply to every shoot. Before I shoot, that's what I'm constantly thinking about. So again, you don't have to have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or the newest camera out there, period. I mean, it's all in how you want to portray the image, you know what I mean? And, but apply those elements. Lighting, composition, framing, the everything.
Yeah, I'll take a Steinway, but I need a piano.
Yeah.
That's right. The same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Work with what you have.
I want Louis Vuitton, but I go thrifting.
Same here. Hey.
And now look at me.
It's all good. You know what I mean? Hey, it's all good. But so the body of it was a Canon 5D. The lens of choice, I didn't use this lens. This is a wide angle lens, 18-35.
Okay.
1 millimeter, but I used 85 1.2 millimeter. And that's more of a portrait lens.
Yeah.
Sharp image, and that's what I wanted to go for, very sharp images. And it's great in low light, Canon lens. Very high profile lens. So again, that was all part of my thought process as well.
Yeah.
What kind of lens? Like, I use this old Canon body, but it's all about the lenses at the end of the day.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people think, I gotta go out and get the hottest new body. No, you need a lens.
Listen, my little baby camera over here. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
But no, I've been because we were trying to figure out how to up our game.
Yeah.
And, get into, just making things look better production-wise.
Yes.
And I reached out to my brother, Sam Wilson, and he recommended that to me specifically. And there's like a huge range of cameras I could have, and he was like, no, just number one, you're learning.
Yes.
Number two,
Yes.
it's that,
Yes.
and it's your eyes. So
Yes.
you don't. I was like, all right, bet. So I've been in the process of constantly trying to know what to get, and I'm learning by being around guys like you that it's really about your just ability to see it and get it.
See it. Or if there's a particular thing, video, magazine that you saw, try to manipulate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what back in my Vibe days when I was looking at their magazines, their covers and stuff, I would always just like have a gang, a set of magazines, and I would just go out and try to manipulate that shoot. And I'd be like, okay, when this type of shoot comes up, I'll already have it in my brain. How it's shot, how it's lit, how it's framed. I already know how to execute the mission.
Right.
Boom, we done. You know what I mean? And that's the research. You know what I mean? You got to research anything that you do. Research.
Yes.
That makes you better at your craft. You know what I mean? That sets you aside from the wannabes or to being a master. You know what I mean? Being professional at what you do. So it's because you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell them the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can really tell. And just the little things. And then once you do learn the technical side of it and your equipment, then other things apply. Like filters, other little gems like when I had used a couple gels in the shoot.
What did you say, gels?
Like that bluish
what
tone.
is a gel? I don't know what that is.
Over the light.
Yeah, it's just basically it's like a color palette that you put over the light, and it gives it a certain type of
Got
look.
you. Okay.
We use the blue gel, and so, like you can see some of it in the background of the image. Like it gives off a bluish type tone, and I wanted to like just give each subject a spotlight type feel.
Yeah.
So it was basically used the triangle 3-point lighting system. So it had a fill, had a key light, fill, and then a backlight. The backlight was more so where the gel was at.
Got you.
Yep. And then just basically that just makes the subject it gives the subject character.
Yep. I understand it conceptually.
At the end of the day, we can shoot, we can do everything, but at the end of the day, the real ones will tell you it's about lighting. It's always about lighting. You know what I mean?
Lighting and your eye.
Yes.
Joe Del Tufo says that all the time.
That's how you tell the story. Like if you were shooting a certain type of particular, subject or in a different setting, you want them to have a dark tone, you would have to use a couple gels and use it, shoot them in a nice, tasteful type of way. Make sure it's like kind of like darkish. If you're trying to portray that subject, whatever you're trying to portray.
Understood.
So you always think about that. Those are all the elements you want to think about.
Yep.
So over the last 3 years, Delaware has really been introduced to you, like as far as like the Out and About and the News Journal and all. Like, so where would they have found you prior to that?
Before all that? Well, I've been here.
Were you shooting as much? Was this always your thing?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Like I said, I started at Vibe magazine.
What a start.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like.
That's why I'm like, can we get into that?
I started there. Got up with my mentor, Johnny Nunez. I've been doing this now professionally for like 22 years.
Wow.
Versus shooting here in hometown, but I've been spreading my wings all over the world.
Yeah.
Been to Saudi Arabia for Comic-Con. Been shooting for every particular magazine you can possibly think of: XXL, Vibe, Vogue, New Magazine. And this was like early, 2008, 2009, 2010. So yeah, been on this mission for a long time.
All right, give us a good funny, or just give us a good celebrity photography story.
You don't have to name names.
If you can name them, great. If you can't, just give us the story. There's got to be a couple of memorable ones.
A funny one? I'll say Kimora Lee.
Okay.
Was with Vibe.
Yes.
She was 3 hours late.
Oh.
Celebrities. I know y'all celebrities
they do.
and whatnot, but y'all need to come up on set. Okay, how much money y'all got in the bank account? Y'all need to be professional. But it was this was for Vibe, and she didn't show up for 3 hours. So again, makeup artists, everybody on set was just going through it, and by the time she did show up, I mean, you know, she brought all the bells and whistles and it was glorifying her and stuff. And,
Right.
I mean, it was cool, you know, to see her, but I'm like, yo, you late. You know what I mean? We got things to do. Like,
Literally.
I still gotta edit. I still gotta go get. You know, I was intern, so I
Oh my gosh, you're intern. So
I had to go get coffee runs and stuff, bro. Yeah, man. It's crazy being in New York. You know, I'm a fast-paced city, so you got to be constantly moving. But I mean, just it was a couple other celebrities like that, but her was the most meaningful one because she was just super diva, super diva on set.
Well, it is
you know, man. Yeah, but yeah, it was cool. It was funny.
So you were able to pretty much deal with Naj when you had to photo shoot her pretty well. Like you
Naj was a champ, yeah.
Like that was all. It's all preparation. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Can I say one more funny story?
Of course.
About this lovely queen over here.
Yeah.
So you know, shout out to the group Original Color Collective.
Yes.
Our first shoot was with the lovely queen right here, and we shot at Silverside Laundromat.
Oh, I know where that is.
Oh yeah, you know the hood, right?
Yeah, I know where. Yep.
So I mean,
I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, so when she walked
told me, and I'm like, don't go in.
Her expression was just priceless. She walked in there. I mean, she was already dolled up. Had the whole outfit on.
I'm here for the photo shoot.
She had everything on.
Get on top of the dryer. No.
They put me in a basket.
Yup.
In a dryer.
Basket, all that.
I was like this.
Yup.
Oh.
There was a dude on the bench that was slumped. He was asleep. She like, is he part of the crew? I'm like, don't worry about him. We good. You ain't gotta worry about him. Trust me, he ain't coming. If he comes a little feet between you, nah, we got security.
No, y'all tested me that shoot because when we did that outdoor part, child.
I gotta give you love for that. I gotta give you love.
Listen, I still got that dress. Sarah, thank you, girl. I look at that dress often.
We still talk about that because see that's another thing too. It was like 20 below.
I remember because we were starting to work together, and I remember her talking about that.
And you know, right then and there, I was like, we're only gonna be on set for like 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
Because I didn't, thinking about the model, and that's all part of being on set as well.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God I had that blanket. That was the same blanket I used during this shoot.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure that we get our shots. She gave me the shots that we needed, and then once I seen it, we're done.
That's dope.
She was freezing her butt off though.
Yeah.
She was freezing
There was
her
nothing
butt
left. It was bone. It was all just bone.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's professionalism, you know?
Yeah, you got to. You know what I mean? You got to think that's, part of being in our position. You got to, those are all the things you got to think about. And I mean, shout out to you, you did your thing.
No, shout out to y'all, because
you did your thing, but I was just thinking about, okay, we need to execute this in a timely manner, and 20 minutes is what we're going to be. Trust me, I wanted to be on set for a little bit longer.
Listen,
there was a couple more locations I wanted to have you at, but we made it work. We made it work, and that was a dope shoot. Shoot. Super, super dope.
So, Delaware has been all over you.
Yes.
Recent, like all over you.
Yes, ma'am.
How does that feel? Like when you're out and people are like, hey, I saw you, and what? Like, how does that feel?
It feels good. I mean, it definitely feels good. Definitely people paying attention to the work and, hard work I've been putting in. And, some people say I'm a celebrity. I'm always saying I'm just Dre from Eastside. I'm still the original Dre.
I'm just trying to intern, bro. I'm just trying to learn something. I'm just trying to be a tag along.
Sorry, I'm going to push you to the side.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out white balance, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But yeah, it just feels definitely dope. It feels good. People recognize you for your work, and this is going to film school. This is what mom and dad paid for. So
I got two more things. I know you probably one thing I want to ask to that point is you went to traditional school. So what would you recommend for somebody like the intern over here, who's like, young and interested? Yeah, jump on.
Come on, Jay, get over here.
Come on, Jay.
Come on, baby, get over here, bro.
Yeah.
This is J3.
Right.
It's the homie right here.
Yeah, so he was there the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody like him,
wait, he's a rising senior.
Yes.
At Delcastle.
Woo! Cougars, baby, Cougars.
How can the people get a hold of you if they want to hire you? What do they need to do?
My Instagram, j._shots is what I post on, how I get my clients, things like that. But
he getting the bag, y'all.
Hire this man.
Trying my best.
Get him.
Trying my best.
Keep the young people busy.
Prices are going
You
up.
know his profit gonna be on point.
If he's not doing the photography.
Right, exactly. Both. He doing both.
Right. I love it.
My man, yes sir. But
So for a young person, what would you tell them to? How do they get involved?
That was
what's
my
what's the
question.
best way to approach it? So yeah.
I mean, just get a feel for what you want to do. I mean, I'm old school, so I'm gonna say go to school, get an internship, and then go out there running and gunning, and learn everything. I mean, nowadays you don't really have to, but I say go to school because I still to this day I still talk to a lot of my peers from there, and and still get jobs, through that way as well. And I mean that was just a good transition. Just being there, learning everything. Again, if I didn't go to film school, I probably would never met my mentor. You know what I mean?
All those things.
All that. You know what I mean? So that was just a good stepping stone for me. But yeah, anybody go to school, get an internship, leave Delaware. I mean, you have to. I personally think you have to.
No.
I mean, if you want to really spread your wings and really get in, knee deep into the business, leave Delaware.
And don't be scared of these.
No, it can't be. It can't be. I mean, you
Right.
got to take that leap of faith. You know what I mean? I would get up 5 o'clock, take the Chinese bus every single day to New York.
Wow.
I mean, and again, I had the jitters.
Oh, 4th Street.
4th Street, and then sometimes I would have to take the SEPTA to
Wow.
catch the Chinese bus in Philadelphia.
Wow.
It was cheaper. You know what I mean? But I mean, again, I had the jitters, but just had to take that leap of faith.
Right.
And really know what you want and just go after it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just don't look back. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just put your all into anything and everything that you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go to school. Go to school, apply yourself, and work hard. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's not going to come overnight. Again,
No.
I'm in a museum. This took over years, you know what I mean? So it takes time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every stepping stone, just take heed and, you know what I mean, and just pride yourself, you know what I mean? A lot of folks, like the new thing now I say is picking up a camera, like you're like the new superstar when you have a camera in your hand. But I mean,
It's weird how people look at you different. I can speak on that. Like I got this little,
Yeah.
and they're like, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing yet. But
Yeah, I mean, you'd
It's
be
hysterical.
surprised what this tool can do for you in life. You know, I met a lot of cool folks, worked with a lot of cool brands.
Well, you make people look good, and people want to look good.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
seriously.
It's
Yeah.
more to that too. It's more than just that. It's just the passion. You know, what I mean, how you carry yourself. You know, what I mean, on top of making people look good. You know, what I mean, and then applying those elements into your craft. Like, it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, it takes time, and just doing the same thing, meeting this gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And just I see the same energy that I saw in myself in him.
Yep.
That's why he's right by my side. You know what I mean? And
What
just-
have you learned so far?
That's gonna be another episode. You guys.
real quick.
From I don't know the amount of questions I asked when you came to speak at my school,
Yeah.
but it was why I wanted to come up with questions because I wanted him to keep answering them. You know what I mean? It was the 3-point lighting and the class that I'm in, St. Delcast. So we learn similar things on what he's talking about, but it's more the in-depth on
Yeah.
setting up lights. Like the shoot was my first time. It was my first
Wow.
faces. I helped prepare behind the scenes, and just the lighting, the tripods, and setting those things up.
Yeah.
We don't learn those things in school because we're not on the field.
Oh.
Coming in with Dre, I was like, how I put this together.
Oh, so you basically
People don't even understand that part. Like, how do you put it together?
Yeah.
Like,
the backdrop.
Yes.
I was like, I don't wanna do none of this.
Yes.
Like Dre, what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole day was just
Wow.
each suit, talking to everybody, talking to his father. His father, like you said, is that guy.
Yeah.
To where you can speak to him. And
Wow.
ever since speaking to him, it's just the connection on
Yeah.
how everybody is, and just learning is
Yeah.
constant every day. I don't know, probably the questions I'll ask for this shoot or
Right.
behind the scenes and things like that. It's just constant. Like you said, he's a photographer, but man of many talents. He can do what he can do. So
Right.
asking things on life experiences.
Right.
Like, I'm still young.
Yes.
So it's life in general, and like I said, seeing somebody at the top
Yeah.
is the journey of, our journey's not going to be the same, but it's the come up on
Right.
seeing somebody at the top. I
Right.
want to be there, so I got to work to get there.
Just as well as the dope energy and knowledge was given to me by my mentor Johnny, I have to apply the same.
Right.
Yep. Just
Right.
makes the world a whole lot better. And this is his time. You know what I mean? And just again, like I say, like it's like I feel like it's deja vu.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I met Johnny, he installed that into me, and now I'm installing this into him. And
Yeah.
now we're gonna watch him blow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That's the essence that I love. We ain't trying to doing it.
So what's next?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. Right now I'm working with Nemours Children's Hospital.
Nice.
Still working with Original Color Collective. Weddings. I gotta do a lifestyle shoot after this. Shout out to Silver Studios. Yeah, Mercedes. Just basically just keep doing what I'm doing. Staying on the grind. You know what I mean? Staying behind the scenes and doing what I love to do.
That's what I do. I do the behind the scenes.
A general comment that I want to make sure is made, just to point about the whole work, and this is honestly just one of the things that I found to be most beautiful about the whole concept is, I don't think people really understand how much that the diversity in these images is not what people normally associate with indigenous culture.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't realize how wide that spectrum is. They basically would have a couple of these images and think it pretty much stays either here,
Or
with India,
Yeah.
but like from your dad to abundance all the way across with Jonathan, it really plays a crucial role
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
in expanding everyone's understanding of what indigenous culture is. So I
Yes, sir.
really want people to understand that part of what you did.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
to add to that, it also shows his diversity in his work.
Absolutely.
That's what I love that about
Yes,
you
ma'am.
as well, because I was introduced to you with like the hip hop,
Right.
fashion
right,
vibes,
right.
and then I'm like,
It's another,
This-
another
This is
part.
high art.
This is
like,
another
oh
part.
my God,
This is museum.
we have to address him differently now.
I'm still great.
Brother Andre,
Mr.
Mr. Wright.
Jr.
Well, to piggyback on, build on that, shout out to Mom, blessings, Mom, definitely giving me blessings and honor, due respects to my mother. She always told me never set myself short. Because
Yeah.
back to what you just said about, we met doing a hip hop shoot, and I would, that's kind of like where I started at.
Yeah.
And she would always tell me, you need to, expand your horizon and do other type of creative shoots and stuff. And so, shout out to Mom
There you
for
go.
making sure that I tiptoe in other realms of photography. And
Yes.
this was
You
was
did
it.
food.
Yes.
You did
I'm a
food.
foodie. I'm a foodie at heart. I love good food.
Listen, we need to all go
Yes.
eating because
Trust
child.
me, you want to be on set when I shoot food.
Let me get another round of those, please.
Yeah, shoot. Last thing I
So-
shot was a Mexican restaurant, Azteca.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Them Tex-Mex, I'm
I
sorry.
need some of that.
896, go there. They got good food.
Okay.
Yeah, good food.
And wait a minute now. Is your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
so
ma'am.
so y'all cousins?
No, we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
Scotch right here.
I didn't want to
It's
like.
Scotch right here.
I try not to like do that, but yeah.
I just
She's
wanna-
so annoyed right now.
I
She's so wildly annoyed right now that you have no idea.
because I love you. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
No, small world, right?
Child, if
We
I
gonna
meet
keep-
another street, if I meet another street.
Yeah.
No, but this has been absolutely awesome. It's an honor to be able to say friend,
Yes, ma'am.
and say that we work together, like above all, like we work together,
Right, right.
But I am so excited about your future. Like the things that you've already done are amazing, and I know people are beating your door down. So I wish you nothing but blessings, and to be able to say NadjNJea interviewed you.
Yes.
We doing something. We doing something, Jay. I mean, he is your cousin.
That's the only way he would do it. I was like, my brother. Excuse me, my brother.
Hey, yo,
could you help my show?
Hey, yo,
You know, you talk about paying the food to the children, but what about your cousin?
So what do you think?